Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Den of DBZ All-Star. I'm DBZ All-Star, or Steve if you prefer. And I've got my latest box from InStock Trades. My first box from them of 2024. So I'm going to, of course, unbox this. But first, why do I have the Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Life Theft and the Spider-Man Ben Reilly Omnibus Volume 1? First printing there next to the Lunar box. Well, I'm going to open up the box and show you what they have to do with what's contained inside. Alright, welcome back. And all we've done so far is use our handy dandy box cutter to cut open this box here. Alright. Remove first book here. Got the address label on it. Focus on everything else until I can get that unwrapped. So as you can see, InStock Trades, as always, did a stellar job providing protective substances to protect your books during shipping. Also, as you can see, our first book is ROM, the original Marvel years, with Bill Mantlo and Sal Buscema. Set that here, get better light on it. This is the direct market cover featuring the legendary, may he rest in peace, George Perez. 2013 commission piece. Alright. Cleaving through the sky like a fiery sword of justice. This is the Romnibus, as it's affectionately called, Volume 1. We have a look at the back here that shows off the covers of what's being collected. The Hasbro logo, Marvel. Thanks to Hasbro, Marvel once again has the license to ROM, this Omnibus Volume 1, with Volume 2 coming out later this year in 2024, collects 1 through 29 of the 1979 ROM series, and Power Man and Iron Fist issue 73. Never before collected. Most of this material is never before released in a collected edition. This is the spine of this particular volume. ROM, of course, there. Volume 1. Now there's the top of the book. There are 4 covers for this, 2 of which are provided by Frank Miller. You have the issue 1 cover, which can be seen on the back here. You, of course, have the George Perez cover, the first of the direct market cover. The issue 1 cover is the standard edition cover. You have the house ad cover, according to the Uncanny Omar, of near mint condition, the only Sal Buscema cover, even though Sal Buscema did most of the artwork contained within this volume. And then you have a Frank Miller X-Men and ROM related cover. So this is excellent. This was first announced last April, so April 2023, by the Uncanny Omar. This was prior to the announcement, the most wanted omnibus edition of David Gabriel, who we can credit with assisting and granting us many of the omnibus editions that we never thought we'd obtain over the years. So thank you, David Gabriel. Thank you, Uncanny Omar, as always, for being stellar and for announcing this omnibus. As I said, Volume 2 will be out later this year, 2024. Let's set that aside because this is not an overview video, not as of yet. Let's go in the box once again. And let's set the box aside. So we have a 4 omnibus here. And let's set the box to the side. Alright, so what we have here, we have the Thor by JMS or by Straczynski, and Gillen Omnibus. This is the direct market cover. There is a standard cover, of course. Let's have a look at the spine. This is a wraparound cover. Features Olivier Coipel, Djurjevic, and Philip Tan there as the main artists on this. Lightning strikes twice. And what does this collect? Well, this collects J. Michael Straczynski's Fantastic Four, which is the 1998 series, also known as Volume 3, because Volume 1 ran from 1961 to 1996. 1996 to 1997 was Fantastic Four Volume 2, part of the Heroes Reborn era, in which creators from Image had the license for that. And Volume 3 started in 1998, returned to legacy numbering with issue 500, and J. Michael Straczynski took over, and this collects 536 and 537, which lead into the 2007 Thor series. He wrote 1 through 12, and issue 600 is also collected as part of his run through 614. Well, he didn't write everything in there. Straczynski left, not under the best of circumstances. He was being forced into crossover territory, even though part of his original pitch and the original agreement between him and Marvel involved him not being required to be involved in crossovers. His final part of this omnibus is the Thor giant size finale, but it's not a true finale because it ends on a cliffhanger and picks up with Gillen's run. This also has the Thor Annual 2009, Siege, issue 1 through 4, which has only ever been collected in oversized format, and feel free to correct me in the comments below, as an oversized Siege hardcover. We have the director's cut of issue 1 for Siege. We have Siege Loki. We have New Mutants 11, which ties into Siege. We have Secret Invasion Aftermath, Beta Ray Bill, the Green of Eden, Beta Ray Bill, God Hunter, and material from Dark Reign, the Cabal. You can see all the creators involved here. Now, there's been a lot of focus there, but there are a lot of issues contained in here. This material in collected edition form holds a special place in my heart, because if memory serves properly, the Thor by J. Michael Straczynski, the original printing of the omnibus, just had Straczynski's material. That was my first ever omnibus, and I'd still have that. It's just in storage at this moment, as is a bunch of other stuff. We'll just say that. So this is wonderful to have. This is an amazing Thor run. It comes after not having a Thor title for about 2.5, 3 years. And ever since this return, we have had a Thor title. The Straczynski run takes place after the Michael Avon Oeming finale that finishes off the series started by Dan Jurgens. This takes place prior to the Matt Fraction run, which had an omnibus collection released in summer of 2022, which then leads into Jason Aaron. So we actually have a consistent collection of Thor material in omnibus form from the Heroes Reborn era in 1998 up through just about present day, because the Donny Cates omnibus is coming out this year, 2024. So with that being said, I probably lingered on this, but holds a special place in my heart. This material does. I'm going to move on to the last book, which definitely holds a special place as well. Alright, so now we have the Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, the Clone Saga. Here's the cover featuring the Scarlet Spider. Spider-Man's clone is back. This is volume 27 of the Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection. There is the spine. again featuring the Scarlet Spider. So this collects Web of Spider-Man issue 117 through 119, Amazing Spider-Man 394 to 396, Spider-Man Adjective List, the 1990 to 1998 series 51 through 53, Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 1 217 to 219, and Spider-Man Unlimited 7. So this is $44.99. So I mentioned this holds a special place in my heart as well. Why? Well, my first ever Marvel Comics comic and my first Spider-Man comic was part of the 90s Clone Saga. It was Spider-Man Adjective List, the 1990-1998 series, issue 60, which is part 3 of the 4-part The Trial of Insert Spoiler Here. And it features a character known as Kane on the cover alongside Spider-Man and the Scarlet Spider. And it's important to note that without that, I may have eventually come over to Marvel Comics. I may have even come over to Spider-Man Comics. There's not a doubt in my mind, but that was the birth issue of my obsession with Spider-Man comics and Marvel Comics. So if I can start there and endure that Clone Saga, because there are some amazing stories, but there are some stories that I do not like reliving when I do a reread, then I can tolerate or survive other Spider-Man runs. And this is not the first time this material has been collected. Back in the aughts, the 2000s, they released 6 volumes of Spider-Man the Clone Saga Epic. They were basically proto-epic collections. This does have different mapping. And they collected from these issues on up through the end of the titles contained within, with the exception of Unlimited for a little while. Actually, all the titles except for Web of Spider-Man went on a hiatus, because after this, they released 5 books titled Another Saga. Can't really spoil that, but if you just saw the omnibus, I may as well. They were the Ben Reilly Saga Epic, or the Ben Reilly Epic Saga, I forget, but I have all of those. Before that, I had and still have the Spider-Man Revelations, which was the first collection of material for the Clone Saga, which ran longer than originally intended. It was supposed to run for about 6 months, and it ran instead from 1994 until I think October 1996. I mean, it's all collected in 4 omnis. I'm going to bring back up the Ben Reilly omnibus. So, 1 second. Alright, sorry for the lighting. I don't have as good a setup as some people, but we have, once again, the Spider-Man Ben Reilly Epic. That's Volume 1. This is the Spider-Man Ben Reilly omnibus. Did I say Epic? Yeah, omnibus Volume 2. This was printed about 4.5, 5 years ago now. This was printed during a month known as Omnigeddon. We've had a couple of those, but that was the first time I remember Omar using the term Omnigeddon. In September 2020, the same month, quite a few omnibus, including the first Mike Grell Green Arrow omnibus, came out. So that was pretty cool. And these finish off the Clone Saga. And they are, give me a second, they are pretty thick omnibus. Pretty thick. There's the back of those books. So overall, I have the Spider-Man Revelations trade paperback, which collects these issues here. Spectacular Spider-Man 240, Sensational Spider-Man issue 11, Amazing Spider-Man 411, and Peter Parker Spider-Man 75. I have the Spider-Man, the Clone Saga Epics, the Ben Reilly Saga Epics, the Clone Saga Omnibus Volume 1, the Clone Saga Omnibus Volume 2, both first printings, and the 2 Ben Reilly Omnibus first printings. Why? Oh, I also have the single issues for that, by the way. Still. Because I can't seem to get away from singles, but this video is running longer than I probably wanted it to. So I've got Omar syndrome, for sure, which is not a bad thing to have. Thank you, Omar. It's infectious. And I actually just reread the entire Clone Saga in anticipation for this epic, and I'll probably end up rereading it again shortly. Honestly, I don't think any of us were expecting the epic line to continue into the Clone Saga, but I'm glad it has, because the mapping is different for these books, and as far as Spider-Man goes, I think I'm going to be a completist. So, let me show off the haul one more time. We have the Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, Volume 27, The Clone Saga. We have the Thor by Straczynski and Gillen Omnibus. All monsters. Again, sorry for the lighting, don't have the best setup. And the ROM, the Original Marvel Years Omnibus, or Romnibus Volume 1. All beautiful, beautiful books. So, thank you once again as well to InStockTrades.com for your stellar shipping of these books. I will obviously continue to be doing business with you. So, there you have it, all three. For those of you watching, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Please leave comments about, if you want, your first Marvel comic, your first Spider-Man comic, your first Thor comic, your first ROM comic, your first omnibus. Leave comments if you feel like it. I like connecting with others. It's how we build the community. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe, be well.